everyone, and welcome to today's video. We're going to do an awesome piece of music today. It's from the Godfather and it's by Nino Rota, and it's just sensational. It's so stunning, so beautiful. You're going to love this one. It's going to be great. Let's begin. Okay, we're going to put a capo on the 5th fret and we're going to try and adhere to the finger picking rules, the general guidelines I like to use, which is thumb plucking the low E string, thumb plucking the A string, and thumb plucking the D string. Index finger plucks the G string, middle finger the B string, a ring finger the high E string. Okay, so remember that as we go through it, make it a little bit simpler to learn. Okay, and what we're going to do is break this down into little parts, little chunks in each part as well. It's going to be easier to learn that way. The first chunk we're going to learn is this. So let's break that down and do it nice and slowly. So you're going to play an E minor chord and you're going to plug the low E and B strings together. Then the high E string. Then put your pinky on at the 3rd fret of the high E string while holding the E minor shape and pluck again. Okay, so far you've got. Now what you're going to do is put your ring finger on the 2nd fret high E string, again still holding the E minor shape. Remove the pinky, so now it's 2nd fret high E string. Then you're going to strum with the thumb, an arpeggiated strum. Yeah, nicely broken strum, not one big strum. Should be nice and dramatic. Okay, so far we've got 4 little bits there. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then remove the ring finger, so it's now an open high E string, and pluck that high E string. So far we've got. Okay, and now what we're going to do is just add the pinky on again at the 3rd fret high E string, pluck, and then remove the pinky to pluck the open high E string. Okay, so that little section is this. Okay, so we'll just run through that again. Low E and B string together, high E string, 3rd fret, high E string 2nd fret with a strum, open high E string, 3rd fret high E string, open high E string. Okay, so you go. This is the first part of the song. Now, this is the next part which we're going to do. Okay, so what we're going to do here is switch to a D7 chord. Okay, so middle finger 2nd fret G string, index finger 1st fret B string, and ring finger 2nd fret high E string, strum, again arpeggiated strum. Lift the ring finger off, so you got open high E string. Then you're going to pluck the B string, which should be the 1st fret with the index finger. Then add your pinky on at the 3rd fret B string, and pluck again. And then back to E minor, and you're going to pluck the low E and B strings. So that second part is like this. That's a D7, arpeggiated strum, open high E string, 1st fret B string, 3rd fret B string, and then E minor with a low E and B string together. So parts 1 and 2 are like this. Take your time with that, get it nice and slow. Remember to break it up into smaller parts. There's quite a bit going on there, so take your time. Okay, and then the next part then is exactly the same as the first part we've done. And then at this point it changes. Now what we do here is bring our pinky up to the 4th fret G string, pluck the G string, ring finger, 3rd fret G string, pluck that. Okay, so you got, and then A minor, and just give that chord a strum, an arpeggiated strum again. So it's just the ending that changes. So part 1, part 2, okay, and then we go back to part 1. And then alternate ending here for this part 3. So it's just the ending, instead of it being, you've got this instead the second time. Okay, so let's just play all that again one more time, nice and slow, all of those 4 parts. So part 1, then part 2, then part 1 again, and then part 3. Okay, that's a good chunk already done, so take your time with that, spend some time with that, because it sounds great at this stage already. But now we're going to move on to the next bit. What we've just finished is, with this A minor, we've gone, so we've just finished on an A minor, now we've got this. Okay, so what you're going to do there is hold the A minor shape, pluck the G string, pluck the B string, then stretch and put the pinky on at the 4th fret B string. Bit of a stretch that. Okay, and then you're going to take the pinky off, bring it all the way down to 2nd fret of the high E string while holding the A minor shape and strum. So you've got that chord there is the A minor 6 chord. It's quite nice. So you're going to take your time with that, hold the A minor shape and get used to gradually stretching that pinky over, because it's a bit of a stretch. Again, break these parts up into smallest chunks possible. Okay, the next bit after that is remove the pinky, so you're back to the A minor, and you're going to pluck the same 3 plucks again. So G string, B string, add the pinky on at the 4th fret B string, and then this time we're going to go to E minor and do our strum there. And if you play A minor like this, where the middle finger is on the D string 2nd fret, it's quite easy to change to the E minor. So all you got to do is bring your index finger up to the 2nd fret A string, 2nd fret A string. So that section again, this next bit here, sounds like that. Okay, that's a cool little bit. This section sounds like this. So it's a bit of a long section again. We'll break that up into a couple of parts. But first of all, we're going to look at a slightly simpler version of doing it. Which is going to be that. Okay, and then we're going to look at doing the full chord, which makes things quite a bit more difficult, but we can get there. So we start with E minor, and then we pluck the D string, G string, and then the B string at the 3rd fret, so it's actually E minor 7, ring finger 3rd fret, pluck that, so you've got. Okay, and now what we're going to do is move the middle finger up to 2nd fret A string, index finger 1st fret B string, pluck them 2 together, lift the index finger off, pluck that, B string, 3rd fret B string, 1st fret B string. Okay, so those 2 little parts there look like this. Okay, so again you've got 2nd fret D string, G, 3rd fret B, change shape, so second fret A string and first fret B string together, open B string, third fret B string, first fret B string. Okay, there's a bit more to come yet, but get that first. Okay, and the final part sounds like this. Okay, and to do that, all you're going to do is hold that shape again, where your fingers are on the second fret A string, first fret B string, plug them two together, lift your index finger off for open B string, then you're going to add your ring finger on the second fret G string, index finger first fret of the D string, and then any finger on the second fret D string, and you're going to plug that along with the open low E string. So slowly that bit is. So together on the A and B, open B, second fret G, first fret D, second fret of the D with the open low E. Okay, so that last part of the tune is like this. So you got three little sections within that section. So you got one first section, then the next bit, then the next bit. So I get those three little parts and then try and piece them together. Okay, I want to play that last final segment of the tune with the fuller chord like I do in the intro playthrough. Then it's like this. It's very similar, it's exactly the same melody, you're just adding that chord strum in there. Okay, to do that, the first bit is the same, so it's the E minor 7. Okay, then what you're going to do is middle finger goes onto the A string second fret, ring finger goes onto the G string second fret, but this time index finger bars across the first fret of the D, G and B strings. Then you're going to, once you've done this, you're going to change that chord quickly, give it a strum on those middle four strings that you're fretting. Roll the index finger up so that it's not flat anymore, so it's still fretting the D string, but it's not barring anymore, so it's an open B string. Just look, that's what you want, the open B. So you've got pinky goes on third fret B string, index finger goes flat again. Okay, so you've got flat again, you pluck that B string, yeah, and then you give it another strum with the chord, so hold that shape, index finger comes up for the open B, ring finger's already on second fret for the G, index finger's already on for the first fret of the D, and then the final pluck. So it's exactly the same melody as the easier version, but it's a bit more complicated. So I'll take you through that bit again. Yeah, that's first bit. Second bit there, and third bit. So again, you can still break that more complicated version up into three chunks. One, two, and three. And then put it together and make it all nice and smooth there. That is the first part of the tune. Okay, it's the main segment, the main theme. So let's take you through it all the way through. And then, okay, so that's 1 and 2. Okay, and then that's 1 again with the alternate ending, with that third little part in there. Hold that shape. A minor 6 there, and then into your E minor. Now we're going into the final part, so we broke that down there, So there we go, we've broken that up into smaller parts, and what you want to do is get comfortable with each part and learn it and then piece it together. Don't try and learn too much in one go, just learn a little segment, add another bit on, and then another bit on, and then just smooth out all the little gaps. Okay, it's because it's a classical based piece, you can afford to leave a little bit of a gap as you're transitioning through the pieces anyway, and that often just adds a bit of dramatic effect. Use your ears to see what sounds good. Okay. Okay then, and so we're going to the final part. This is another different chunk of the song, so we'll break this up into smaller parts again. And what we've got is this. And that's what we're going to do to start with. So let's pluck the open high E twice. Then put your middle finger on at the 4th fret of the B string. Pluck that. And then once you pluck that, move that middle finger down to the 3rd fret B string, and then pluck the D and B strings together. So you got this. While I'm doing that, I get my index finger ready to pluck or to fret the 2nd fret of the high E string. And then my pinky comes on at the 5th fret now of the G string, pluck that, and then arpeggiated strum that whole chord. So it should be 2nd fret, 3rd fret and 5th fret in the high E, B and G strings. If you want to simplify that bit, you can just do the open high E twice, 4th fret B string, 3rd fret B string, and then add the 2 fingers on where they go, so 2nd fret high E and 5th fret G, and strum. Okay, and then you're going to get your ring finger, you can lose the shape of the chord here, ring finger 4th fret of the D string, index finger 2nd fret G string, open high E, hammer on 2nd fret, open high E. So you've got this. This is the next part, by the way. Open high E, 1st fret B. It'll all start to sound a little bit better in a second. So these are your first 2 parts here. Okay, and then the next bit. And that bit, okay, so 4th fret D string, 2nd fret G string, open high E, 2nd fret high E, open high E, 1st fret B. Now we're going to go into 3rd fret on the low E string with the middle finger and pluck the low E and B strings together. Okay, so it's a simple plucking pattern on this chord now, which is based around the G chord. So what you're going to do is pluck the low E and the B strings together, D string, G string and D string. It's all open strings except for this 3rd fret and the low E, so that's quite nice and easy. So you've just done okay, now you're going to pluck the B string again, then 3rd fret of the B string, then open B string again. Okay, so we've got okay, so get that melody there, open 3rd fret, open on the B string. And now we're going to change to an F bar chord. And we're going to pluck the low E and G together, D, G and D. Okay, you don't have to play this F as a big full bar. All you really need is these 3 notes here. Index finger 1st fret low E string, middle finger 2nd fret G string, ring finger or pinky, 3rd fret D string. And all you're going to do is pluck those notes. So see, you don't even need to play it as a bar. I tend to just do that anyway, in case I want to add some extra little bonus notes. So it's quite simple really, no bar needed, just 3 fingers. First fret, second fret and third fret. And all you're going to do is pluck the low E, G together, then the D, then the G, then the D. Okay, and the final little segment is this. Okay, where we're going to put the B, where we're going to put the middle finger on the second fret A string, ring finger second fret G string, pluck them 2 together, index finger first fret B string, pluck, pinky third fret G string, pluck, and then open B and low E. So that bit was basically second fret A string and G string, first fret B string, third fret G string, and then open B and low E. Alright, and that's all the parts there. Okay, now what we need to do is just piece them together. So in this second act we've got, okay, get that comfortable if you play that way or the slightly simpler way. It doesn't matter, they both sound pretty good. Okay, and then the next part. And the next part. And the next part. And this final part now. Okay, so you can break that up into smaller chunks as well. What you want to do is just keep it smooth and keep it fun. Chunking is the way to do it with any complicated piece of music. And I mean, it's not the most difficult piece in the world to play. It sounds fantastic, but you just got to go into small little chunks. Now what I'm going to do is put all of that together in a nice, slow and steady way. From the beginning. Repeat all of that if you like, but now we're going to go straight into the next part. Okay, if you need to, just take your time. Learn this over a space of, at least a few days, because it's not the easiest piece in the world. There's quite a lot going on. There's a lot to think about. I didn't learn it in the space of a few days. I took my time with it and just learned bits and pieces here and there over a space of a few weeks. And then after that, spent a few weeks making it all sound really good. Didn't spend a huge amount of time on it, but doing it in small chunks. And over time, you get to digest it nice and slowly, get to enjoy it. And a piece like this, just enjoy it. It's so good. You don't want to ruin it by trying to force it and then it becomes really difficult. Look for little ways you can simplify it as well. I learnt it the slightly more complex way, but if you can learn it the simpler way, then great, because you've got a head start over a lot of people. You'll be able to learn it a little bit easier and have more fun with it. The main thing is, learn it, love it, enjoy it, because it's a great piece. I want to thank you very much for watching, and hopefully you'll enjoy that. And you'll never be able to watch The Godfather again without thinking, wow, I can play some of that great music from the film. Which is pretty awesome, to be fair. You can really show off with this one. Have some fun, and I'll see you again soon. Cheers. Bye-bye.